Hello, YouTube. This is Nathan Johnson again, coming to you to do another recap. Today we're talking about 90 Day Fiancé, Season 9, Episode 2. Sweet Home Hoax. That's what they named it. So, in my last video, we talked about how obviously this is still the beginning of the new season. We're still meeting couples. We're still getting people here to America. This episode, last week we met Belittle and Shaida, Jibril, Mina, Cara and Galero, and Emily and Kobe. Today, and this episode, we received a new couple, and we still got a couple more to meet. So we're gonna get started with this video. I'm gonna start with Belittle and Shaida. So if you guys remember from last week, Belittle met Shaida. She's from Trinidad. At the end, he was talking about how he's gonna pick her up in a van and take her to his childhood home at first before going to the new home. It's kind of a prank to see if she would still accept him for who he is and what he has and everything. And I said I was for the prank. I was for it because I think that's a good idea to see like what her intentions is. So with Belittle and Shaida arrives to America from Trinidad. You know. And at first, before I go on with this video, there was a lot of nice little airport scenes. A lot of people made it to America to start the 90 days. These are the happy moments, and let's enjoy these happy moments now because I have a feeling it's all gonna go up and down the rest of the season. But back to Belittle and Shaida. So Shaida arrives in America. At first, when she gets here, she goes out to the car and she's getting ready to get in somebody else's car. And she's like, "Babe, I thought this was your car." And no, it was actually a van. He picked her up in this big white van and put all her stuff like that looked like she said it was like trash in the background. Put all her stuff like in the trash area, and she was just not amazed. And so he brings her to his childhood home, and they get into the house, and she starts nitpicking. She starts, "Oh, this is smaller than I thought. The ceiling wasn't done. It was just smaller. It wasn't like as clean as she had hoped for." And she thought that while he was in Trinidad, that he was like wearing all these Louboutins and all that, and based on the work as he does, she would have thought he would have more money. So the prank that Belittle tried to do with Shaida obviously is not going well. Shaida was not impressed. Just on day one for her arriving to America, they start arguing. And Belittle even told her, you don't have a good attitude about this. But Shaida expected so much more. Like, she expected basically a mansion. And she actually said she felt deceived a little bit, and this debate can go half and half. Some people are for his prank and some people are against it. I see both sides, but like I said, I feel like that is a good way to see what she's really in it for. But as of the first impression, she's not giving a good first impression. And she was really rude and stuff with the attitude just on day one. And he had mentioned you would have thought the first day they could just chill out and just have that time together because it's been some time since they've seen each other. But no, they were arguing about the house and her feeling deceived. So we'll see how that plays out, and eventually he takes her to his actual place. But Shaida's first impression, I thought it was kind of rude, but she had a little bit more expectations. So moving on, we had Cara and Galero. Now, in the last episode, Cara flew down to the Dominican Republic to pick up Galero, and we had mentioned that he had a expired passport from Venezuela. Now, as before they decided to go back to America, Guillermo and his friends took Cara out to eat just to say goodbye with all their family and friends and stuff. It looked like they had a nice time. But Guillermo's brothers and friends were talking about the age difference, and they were actually making jokes about him being a toddler, being a baby, and even Cara was saying that that he was young and was making even laughing at the jokes about being a cradle robber and all that, and actually made Guillermo mad. And I actually felt his pain with that, because there's a lot of people who do judge based on age. But my thing is, like, when you're grown, you're grown. A grown man should not be being called a baby, especially, and he's 23, she's 29. That's not even at this point, that's not even a big deal as it is. So I felt his pain, and he was upset that she was even laughing. So, but they eventually got past that. So they arrived to the airport, we seen them board the plane. So when they got on the plane, I'm like, well, they got through the first step. So they fly back to the United States, to Virginia. They get there, and they got detained for 2 hours by immigration for questioning. I was a little worried when they got detained because I don't know if he's going to get deported back or they're going to be in there for a few days, kind of like what happened with Amara from last season when she got detained in Mexico City for a couple days. So, but 2 hours later, they come out and they realize he's from Venezuela and has that Venezuelan visa and stuff, so they let them go, and they're about to start their 90 days. So that was all we saw from Cara and Galero. We'll see how that goes, but I kind of felt I felt the disrespect from them making fun of his age, and her being a little bit older than him and stuff. It wasn't that bad, and yeah, I felt his pain, so I hope they could get past that. Next is Emily and Kobe. As we know, Emily has a son named Coben, and Kobe is from Cameroon, and they met in China. Emily decides to go to the airport alone to meet Kobe, and she decided to go alone and not bring Coben, because she says she wants to have the first night to herself and everything, and before they start their 90 days and the parenting life and everything. Now, this again is debatable. It can go back and forth. I think that, some people are going to say it's selfish. Some people say it's a good idea. Again, I'm half and half. I see both sides. I see that how she wants to spend some time with him before the hectic life begins. But also at the same time, he hasn't seen his son yet in person, other than video chat. So I think he may wanted to see his son right out the gate and spend some time with his son because he hasn't met him yet. So, it's a little tricky with that one. But so Kobe arrives to America, and Emily's been trying to make her parents best because she says she's changed from her parents the last time she's seen them and for having a baby and stuff. And then the infamous line comes that we've seen in the trailer. Kobe says she's changed, she's gained weight. I was like, no, no, you don't talk about a woman's weight like that. It kind of got a little flashbacks to that scene with Darcy and Tom a couple years ago. I was like, no, but they were still in the honeymoon phase of being excited that he's in America. So, they got past that. So we'll see next week how he adjust to being in America, and how this plan that she wants to spend one day with him before meeting the son. Next up, we've seen Jibril and Mina. Now, we start out with them seeing Jibril talking to his best friend David that he's in the band with, that he's also Serbian, and actually, if it wasn't for David, he wouldn't have met Miona. And David is his best friend. They've been through a lot together. They fight. They love each other. They hate each other. They fight. They don't fight. They're there for each other. They're not. It's a interesting friendship they have. But David expresses his concerns about Miana. Expresses that the band wants to get back together and they just need him. But he's getting ready to have Miona come to America. So he expresses his concerns. It was just whatever with that. So then Jibril, he dresses up in this nice pink suit, gets all these flowers, gets all these gifts ready, and the most unique thing I've ever seen was he got like this little red carpet and stuff. And when he was getting ready, he had a little wardrobe malfunction. He ripped his pants. I thought that was pretty funny. So he was like, oh man, I'm gonna be late. But I thought it was really unique and sweet how he got all this stuff in the red carpet. He goes to the airport and rolls out the red carpet of where she comes down. And, you know, at first somebody steps on it. He was like, man, come on, man, don't step on that. But, you know, it didn't matter. So then he hides around this like pole right by the escalators. And then when he sees her, he jumps out with it. And she comes down, goes on the red carpet and had that magical airport moment. So Miona is now in America. So we'll see how that goes. Again, I said last week, I'm a little worried about them. They're the couple I still question and feel like there's going to be a lot of drama. So we'll see how that goes. And we met a new couple in this episode. We met Eve and Muhammad. Eve is from New Mexico. She's a massage therapist. She has a 12-year-old son who's autistic and has Down syndrome and kidney disease. So we're definitely praying for her son and whatever he's going through. With her, she's 48 years old, and Muhammad, her fiance, is 24, 25. So we met Eve. She goes out with her friends. They talk about the Egyptian lifestyle and the Muslim rules and stuff. She had mentioned that they didn't follow a certain rule, that you're supposed to really wait until marriage, and that she took his celibacy from him. So that was pretty interesting. So, but you know, she mentioned that she was cleaning out her closet on certain things, throwing away certain things, so she could at least like be respectful to his cultural and stuff. So I feel like when he comes to America, I feel like that's gonna be a interesting cultural shock for him, because she seems like outgoing and stuff. She reminds me a little bit of Stephanie from last season of 90 Day Fiancé, but not as like crazy. I feel like, but I think like she's being more respectful of it, but also wants to still live her life with that. So it was nice to meet Eve. She was very beautiful, by the way, you know, for her age. So I think that they are going to be a good match if they adjust to each other's cultural differences and get through it. You know, nothing's going to be perfect, but I feel like they could make it. And so, yeah, that was this episode. So far, my favorite couple, I haven't pinpointed yet. I'm really liking Cara and Galero. I feel like they're going to be a really cute couple. They'll probably have ups and downs, but so far they're my early season favorites. I am worried about Shaida, how she's going to adjust to this lifestyle, and then I'm curious to see how her reaction is going to be when he comes clean and tells her the truth and she sees the house. But Shaida, I'm so worried about. She didn't get the good first impression on day one. So we'll see how that goes. So next week, we still got 2 more couples we got to meet. Next week, we're going to be, based on the previews, we're going to be seeing a returning couple from 90 Day Fiancé the other way, and that's Ari and Benny. And Benny has gotten his K1 visa. They mentioned that he was in person in New York from the other way tell-all, so we already knew he got his visa. So we're going to see the previews of them celebrating their visa and saying goodbye to his sisters next week and starting their life in America. So I'm glad to see Ari and Benny back again on the show. And guys, this is the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing more recaps. Again, this is like my second video, so just bear with me. I'm still getting used to doing all of this, and be tuned to stay tuned for many more. Goodbye.